Hey guys, what's up? Al&Em here. Yeah, she's actually appearing in a video for once. Today we're going to be discussing our World Cup predictions, including who we think is going to win the World Cup. Bearing in mind, Emily has no knowledge of football whatsoever, so she could be completely off. Who we think is going to win each group collectively? Who's going to be the top goal scorer? Who's going to win the Golden Boot? How far England will get? Will they get past the group stages? And who will surprise us the most, team and player-wise? But before we get into our predictions, make sure you go and drop a like and subscribe if you are new. Emily has no knowledge, as I say, of football whatsoever. She's going to be more interested in watching Love Island this year. So who do you think is going to win the World Cup this year?
Germany.
You think Germany are going to win the World Cup? They're one of the favourites. To be fair, that's not a bad shout. That's who most people think are going to win the World Cup. I'm going to go with France. I think France are going to win the World Cup. I just think they've got a really young team this year, and they're going to have a really fighting chance of winning the World Cup. I think it's going to be between them and Brazil. Maybe, so if you could name one more team other than Germany.
Brazil.
So you're going to say Germany and Brazil. Obviously, what we're going to do is we're going to say all these predictions, and then after the World Cup, we're going to see if we're right and who got the closest. So you're going to say Germany and Brazil are your two teams that could possibly win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with France, and I'm going to go with a bit of a shock. I'm going to go Croatia, maybe to have a bit of a chance of winning the World Cup, because I think they've got a pretty young and pretty decent team with some of the players they've got.
That's a mad one.
So that's who we think is going to win the World Cup. Let's go on and see who we think is going to win each group stage individually. So Group A, we have got them up here. In Group A, we've got Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay. Who do you think is going to top the group?
I'm going Russia purely because it's in Russia.
You think Russia are going to top the group?
It's in Russia, isn't it?
You've got bloody Salah, who plays for Egypt, who's the top goal scorer in the Prem. You've got Suarez, who plays for Barcelona, who plays for Uruguay, and you've picked Russia.
It's in Russia.
Well, to be fair, they've got a fighting chance. The fans are going to be up for it. All the hooligans are going to be up for it. So you're going to go for Russia to win the group. Who are you going to go to finish second?
Who are you? No, you've got to say yours.
Alright, well I think Egypt are going to win the group.
Egypt.
Who's going to finish second?
Egypt.
So you're going to go Russia and Egypt. So Russia to win the group, Egypt to finish second. I'm going to go Egypt to win the group, and Uruguay.
No, Russia.
To finish second. Russia haven't got a chance.
It's in Russia.
It's in Russia, yeah, but that doesn't really mean anything.
You say the home team always wins, so...
They might have, well, maybe. But it's going to be 50-50, isn't it, the World Cup? So, moving on to Group B, we've got Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and Iran. That is the group of death. Jesus, that is a tough group. There should only be really two teams that go through to the next stage. They should really be Portugal and Spain.
I was going to say.
But who do you think will win the group?
Portugal.
You think Portugal will win the group? Okay, and you think Spain will finish second?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Spain to win the group and Portugal to finish second. So
really,
we're going to go.
You want to say what I said?
No, because I don't think Portugal are going to win the group. Okay, so moving on to Group C, we've got France, Australia, Peru, and Denmark. Who do you think is going to win the group?
France.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'll go with France to win that group. And who do you think is going to finish second?
Can I ip-dip do it?
You can ip-dip do it. She has no clue of football, no idea who plays for who.
Okay, I got rid of Peru, so I'm just going to go Denmark. You
think Denmark are finished? I think that's a good shout, but Denmark are going to be relying heavily on Christian Eriksen. So if Christian Eriksen doesn't perform in the World Cup, I'm going to go with Australia. So I'm going to go a bit of a shock, Australia to finish second in the group, in Group C. Moving on to Group D, we've got Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. That's a horrible group. Argentina to win the group, and who to finish second?
Croatia.
Argentina and Croatia. I'm going to go with Croatia to win the group, and Argentina to finish second. So the other way around. Moving on to Group E, we've got Brazil, Switzerland, Costa Rica, and Serbia. That's not a very nice group either.
Brazil?
Brazil to win. Okay, I'm going to go Brazil to win the group.
It's between Brazil, Switzerland, and Costa Rica.
And Costa Rica to finish second. So slightly different. They're pretty similar with who we think is going to win the group for most of them, but slightly different with who we think is going to progress second. So Group we got Group F now. So we've got Germany, Mexico, Sweden, and Korea.
Germany, because I said they were going to win.
You think Germany are going to win the World Cup and finish first in their group?
Yeah. Do they not have to?
Yeah, no, they don't have to because you can finish second.
And
but if you
through.
finish second in a group, then you can go through, but the team you play will have finished first in the other group. So if you finish second, you automatically play someone who's first place second.
Oh, you want to finish
so
first.
You want to finish first, yeah. Do you think Germany will win? Who will finish second?
Mexico.
All right. I'm going to go with a bit of a shock because I think Mexico are going to have a really good shout at this World Cup. I'm going to go. Oh, Mexico will win that group though.
You said it now. It's too late.
Mexico to win the group. I'll be nice and bold with that. And Germany's finish second in the group.
Okay, next group.
Group G.
Belgium, Panama. Panama. Yeah. Tunisia and England.
Okay.
I have to say England.
Yeah.
You have to.
You think England will win the group?
No, but I have to.
Okay, they'll finish second.
Belgium.
Okay, this is an interesting one for me. I reckon England are going to get 7 points overall, and we're going to finish first in the group on goal difference because we're going to score more goals against Panama and Tunisia than what Belgium will. We'll draw against Belgium, we won't win, but we'll finish first on goal difference because Belgium will also have 7 points. So I'm going to go England to win the group and Belgium to finish second. Moving on to the final group, we have got Group H, which is Poland, Senegal, Colombia, and Japan. Who do you think is going to win the group?
Poland.
And finishing second?
I've never seen a Japanese person. Oh yeah, I have. No, because you have Thingy.
Who?
I don't want to say because it's probably not
No,
Japanese.
go on. Who?
No, because I don't think he's Japanese.
No, say it. Who's Japanese?
The guy I don't like on FIFA.
Oh, Son?
Yeah.
Heung-min Son. He's not Japanese. He's from the Korean Republic. So you weren't far off. But no, he plays for Korea. So you think, who do you think will finish first?
Poland.
Poland first, and second? Senegal. I'm going to go with Senegal to win the league, to win the group, sorry, and Colombia to finish second. That group's going to be a really tight group. Anyone can really progress out of that. That's a really close group. You could get Japan even progressing in that group. Anyone can beat anyone. So they are our predictions for each group in particular. Who do you think is going to go and win the Golden Boot? Who's going to score the most amount of goals overall? We talked about this before, and you've got the obvious likes of Ronaldo, Messi, Griezmann, Neymar. You've got all Harry Kane, those sort of players.
Harry Kane ain't going to do it.
No, Harry Kane won't win the Golden Boot. No.
Neymar.
I think Neymar's going to win the Golden Boot. That's the favourites on the bookmakers list right now. We had a bit of a shock in 2014 when James Rodriguez went on and won the Golden Boot, and he's only a midfielder. He plays for Colombia. Pretty sure he went on to win the Golden Boot anyway. But I'm going to go with... I think Messi's got a good shot. I just really rate him over Ronaldo. So I'm going to go with Messi to win the Golden Boot this year. So we've got 2 questions left out of our 4 or 5 that we had written down. So how far do you think England will get in the World Cup this year? Bear in mind we've got a young squad, so the squad's going to be prepared for the Euros in 2020 and the next World Cup.
They're not prepared for this one.
They're prepared, but they'll be more prepared because they're quite young. They're taking quite young players.
Don't think. I think we'll win. We'll first or second in group, and then I don't think we'll win.
Well,
if
we finish second in the group, then we get a team like France or Germany.
Yeah, so then I don't think we'll win.
You don't think we'll win that? So you think we'll go out at the round of 16?
Yeah, because I don't.
You said we finished first in the group, though. If we finish first in the group, then we should get through to the round. We should get through to at least the quarterfinals, and then we come across like France or Germany or someone like that.
Okay. Well, it depends where you finish in group.
Okay. Well,
if we finish first in group, then we'll probably win the next round. But if we don't, then we won't.
So you think we'll finish in the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we win first in group.
All right, I'm going to put my neck on the line. I think we're going to go quite far. I'm going to go the semi-finals, and we're going to get knocked out by France.
Just France.
I reckon the hype's going to be real this year. I reckon we're going to go a long way.
Get your England flags out now.
I'm going to get my England flag out the back of this house, yeah. So who do you think will surprise us the most team-wise out of the World Cup this year? We've already sort of spoken about it.
Croatia, I think.
So you think Croatia are going to be the surprise team this year in the World
Yeah.
Cup? I'll go with that. I think Croatia are going to be a big surprise. I reckon they'll go quite far, get to the quarters, especially past round of 16, depending on if they win their group. And their group's got Argentina, Iceland, and Nigeria. And that's a tough group to get past. They've got a good team. I think they'll go quite far,
Who's
get
in their
to at
team?
least of the quarter. They've got Modric, Kramaric,
Okay,
basically
we should have
players that end in itch, who play for Croatia. My pick for who I think will surprise us the most is probably going to be Senegal, somebody like that, or Egypt, because they've got the Salah. Salah's been amazing this year, and hopefully he'll be able to carry Egypt far in the World Cup. And then Senegal have also got really fast players as well. It's not just about speed, no, but speed obviously does help.
Oh.
England have got a lot of it, but we don't normally use a lot of it, just because of the way we play. So who do you think will surprise us the most team player wise? So what player do you think is going to surprise us the most? It can be an England player. Your easiest thing is just say Harry Kane or someone like that.
But
Just
he's
scores a goal.
not.
No, but think of like a young player. You think you any young players that play for England?
I don't know the team who plays.
No. I'll answer this one. Marcus Rashford is going to surprise us at this World Cup, and it's going to bring in on leaps and bounds. You've heard of Marcus Rashford, sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he's only like 20, 21, plays for Manchester United. I think he's going to really surprise us in this England team this year, and he's going to carry us a long way. I reckon he's going to be our man that we look to go towards.
What position's he in?
He plays up front.
Okay. I can't answer that.
I think it's going to be interesting who plays in net for us as well. Who, if we pick which a goalkeeper we pick, because we've not taken Joe Hart this year.
As long as it's not that guy who screwed up in Liverpool.
Oh no, we're not taking Karius. No, he would have been in the Germany team, but I don't think he's been picked for. I don't think he'll ever play football again. To be fair, because that was just an awful mistake, wasn't it? It probably ended his career.
Unless he did have that brain,
the
concussion.
Anyway, guys, that has been it for this video. They are our World Cup predictions of who we think is going to win the group, who we think is going to win the World Cup, who we think is going to win the Golden Boot. That's the third thing. How far we think England are going to get, and who's going to be our surprise package. Those 5 questions. We will compare the results at the end of the World Cup. I'm also going to be bringing you. I'll probably do videos maybe every other day of the scores, how I think the matches will end up if you want to put a bet on that, because I'm going to be betting quite heavily, hopefully win quite a bit of money on the World Cup, which I'm sure you're very happy about. But for now, this is going to be Al&Em, much makes a change, signing out from Al&Em Gaming, and we will see you in the next video. See you later.
Bye.